this video, we will review cohort studies. As you can recall, there's a hierarchy of evidence, from expert opinion all the way to systematic review and meta-analyses. We are currently reviewing cohort studies. A cohort study is a longitudinal observational study. It is described as longitudinal because research subjects are followed over a period of time. The duration for which participants are observed differ between studies and depend on the time allotted by the researchers, which can be informed by many factors such as available resources and the outcome and exposures being observed. So these studies look at a specific group of people with a common trait or exposure. This group of individuals is known as a cohort. This cohort is then observed over time to determine whether they will develop a particular outcome. Cohort studies can be performed prospectively or retrospectively. An example of a cohort is a group of individuals of the same age range and profession who are observed over time based on whether they smoke or not. After several years, researchers assess whether any of them develop lung cancer. So here is our cohort of 20 young professional adults. You note that 8 are regular smokers and the other 12 are non-smokers. We observe these individuals over time. After many years have passed, you find that amongst those that smoke, 3 participants developed lung cancer, and amongst those that do not smoke, 1 participant developed lung cancer. The participants can be grouped as displayed. We can then construct a 2x2 table with the totals populated. 4 participants in total were diagnosed with lung cancer and 16 were not. This makes up our sample size of 20 participants. Of the 4 with cancer, 3 smoked and 1 did not. Of the participants who did not develop cancer by the end of the study, 5 smoked and 11 did not. We can input the total number of smokers and non-smokers, which are 8 and 12 respectively. We want to know, of the participants who smoked, what the probability of developing lung cancer was. We go about this by calculating the incidence of lung cancer in each of the exposed and unexposed groups. In the smoking or exposed group, the incidence of lung cancer is 3 divided by 8, which is equal to 0.375. The incidence of lung cancer amongst the non-smokers or unexposed is 1 divided by 12, which is equal to 0.083. The relative risk is calculated by taking the incidence in the exposed group and dividing it by the incidence in the unexposed group. Therefore, relative risk, or RR, is equal to 0.375 divided by 0.083, which is equal to 4.5. Based on our data and calculation, smokers have a 4.5 times greater risk of developing lung cancer compared to non-smokers. When we construct our 2x2 table, we can assign letters to each cell in order A, B, C, and D. These are the row and column totals. The sample size can be calculated by adding A, B, C, and D. The relative risk is calculated by dividing the incidence of disease in the exposed group by the incidence disease in the unexposed group. Therefore, the relative risk is calculated by dividing A over A plus B by C over C plus D. There are many advantages of cohort studies. They can help determine the incidence and natural history of disease. They establish temporality between exposure and outcome, therefore suggesting causality. One can also observe multiple outcome variables in one study, and retrospective cohort studies specifically are relatively quick and cheap. The disadvantages of cohort studies include difficulty controlling confounders. Disadvantages of prospective studies specifically are that they're not really helpful when studying a rare outcome, and that there is a potential for loss to follow-up. Retrospective studies specifically may be subject to recall bias. In summary, a cohort study is a longitudinal observational study where participants with a common trait are observed over time. These studies are particularly helpful when one needs to determine incidence and risk of developing an outcome. Prospective studies are time-consuming and expensive, and may not be helpful when the outcome of interest is rare. The statistic calculated for these studies is the relative risk.